Hello and welcome to another Pioneer video. I'm Tandy, and today we have a nice one for you. I'm going to be piloting a new build of Boros Convoke through a league. This build is focusing on the new card Warden of the Inner Sky. This is a 1-cost 1/2 human soldier. You may tap 3 untap artifacts and or creatures you control to put a +1/+1 counter on it and scry 1. You can only activate that as a sorcery. And then, if it has 3 or more counters on it, it has flying and vigilance. That means essentially you're able to tap down blood tokens, treasure tokens, other artifacts, and small creatures, and you're able to leverage those into not only some extra damage, but also some card filtering. As a 1-drop, not only is it's white, so it enables things like Venerated Luxodon and Knight Errant on the Convoke, but it's also just an enabler, right, to convoke those things as a 1-drop that is also a payoff for all of your other things like Gleeful Demolition, Voldaren Epicure, Thraben Inspector, and the works. I think Warden's going to be maybe one of the better 1-drops we could ask for a strategy like this, and I'm really hoping that it ends up taking off. The other card that I'm testing out in the main deck is Sunshot Militia. This is a 2-cost 1/3. It's very similar to Warden in that you can tap a bunch of untapped artifacts and creatures, but instead of pumping the Warden, we're dealing direct damage with Sunshot. I'm kind of using it as like a split between a Warden and an Immodane's Recruiter because it's able to push damage in a very specific way. Immodane's Recruiter pushes damage when your opponent is light on board. And then Sunshot Militia pushes damage when they're heavy on board. So we can finish them off or just start chunking them for huge chunks of damage before they're prepared to deal with it, or before we set up our Alpha Strike on the following turn. The rest of the deck is stuff we've seen before. This build in particular, though, is leaning into some creature lands with Den of the Bugbear. We have 2 copies of Shefet Dunes, which is a nice end-of-game type effect. And we don't mind dealing ourselves that much damage with Shefet Dunes and Battlefield Forge because we end the game quickly. Or either we win quickly or lose quickly. It's very rarely a drawn-out affair. Our sideboard is testing out Duskrose Reliquary. I'm hoping that this is good with the Mono Green Devotion matchup. And we have so many extra tokens to sacrifice that I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal. The fact that it costs 1 is so huge. It has wards, so you're not getting blown out by Boseiju nearly as often. And it's exile. And all of those things, and the fact that it can hit artifacts too. It's just like whatever you want Duskrose Reliquary to be, it almost does it. The only thing it doesn't hit that I want it to hit is like enchantments or planeswalkers, but it's hard to ask for better on like what is essentially a white Bone Splinters. We have 2 wedding announcement for the Rakdos matchup. This is going to help alleviate some pressure from sweepers and spot removal. 2 copies of Rydane for the combo matchups where they just go way bigger than you. The backside can help out against Rakdos Sacrifice as well by protecting our creatures. I haven't personally had too much of a problem beating Rakdos Sacrifice. It feels like we should lose to Mayhem Devil a bunch, and when they do play an early Mayhem Devil, we do lose. However, I feel like Venerated Luxodon gets under it pretty well, and if they don't play turn 3 Mayhem Devil, they're almost always dead. Running Volley there for Grease Fang as well as Spirits and a couple of other of our tougher matchups. Forge Devil, mostly for Llanowar Elves, but can come in a number of spots. I think that Forge Devil is likely the card I'm going to be looking at cutting in the future. And then lastly, we are a Gigantha deck. We're not playing Embercleave because we're not playing Bunnycorn, and we're not playing Burning Tree Emissary either, and that allows us to play Gigantha. This build of the deck is a lot more resilient, I think, than previous builds, specifically because our 1-drop Warden of the Inner Sky is able to hammer our opponents very easily, and it really fits in the theme of the deck, in the flow of the deck. The last card I want to talk about is one of the newer additions to the strategy right before Caverns of Ixalan came out, and that's Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, to the main deck. I had 2 in my sideboard for quite some time, but the move to the main deck is mostly because we've cut the non-creatures. Outside of Gleeful Demolition, we no longer have non-creature effects in our deck. We don't have Giant Killer. We don't have Legion's Landing, right? And so the Thalia basically never hurts us, and it's so strong against Phoenix, Rakdos midrange, combo decks. Even mono green on the play, it's pretty good. And so I think that Thalia, being that really important addition to the strategy, buys us a significant amount of time against some of our tougher matchups. But this is Boros Convoke featuring Warden of the Inner Sky. Let's play League. I am keeping it, but this is more of an experimental keep since we're on the play. We have Warden. If we draw any land, we're going to be able to start attacking for large chunks on turn 2. If not, we'll just slowly scale up to try to get Knight Errant down as early as we can. But any land on turn number 2 is incredible. Warden so far has looked good. Sunshot Militias look good. We're learning. You have a top 5 cards from LCI for Pioneer so far. I did a thread on Twitter the other day about it. Alright, instead of attacking for 1, I'm going to buff this. Put the land on top. Perfect. The fact that it can pump itself is so good. You know? Alright, so we're playing against the Wildgrowth Walker deck that we've been working on. Alright, so now we can go... We can't play the Knight Errant this turn. So let's go Warden. We'll go for another Epicure. And Medallions we'll put on bottom. We just need lands. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just pump it again. We can attack for 3, but getting it up to 4 means it'll have Vigilance. If they play Amalia and then combo me, not really a whole lot I can do about it. The Wildgrowth Walker we can fly over. Tandy, is this that good for Sunday if I have spare 40 QPs? That's what we're testing, Lou. Sorry, man. Brand new cards are hard to give exact, thing about. So they benched a Coco. They hit a Temple Garden. All right, we'll take Immodanes in hopes that we draw a land. And I'll take Resolute Reinforcements otherwise. Tap these. I don't really need another Knight Errant. We'll attack for 5 in the air with Vigilance. Another Wild Growth into Cenote. It's going to be difficult to keep up with the Wild Growth Walkers if that's their whole deck. But we'll do our best, right? Alright, so now we're just going to get this one pumped up as well. Keep the land on top. Alright, attack for 9. Flying Vigilance. I mean, I don't think regular Boros Convoke would be beating Wild Growth Walkers here. So I think the Wardens are looking quite good in that regard. If it's just past turn here, we easily win. They're turning on Fatal Push? Or what? I just want to take it, but I think I want to block. I don't really know what I'm turning on. Maybe Descend? I'll just take it. I don't know what Descend cards can punish me here. Traction Specialist? That could have punished me slightly. That's fine. Alright, so this has lifelink. So they're up at 17. They have 5 blockers. Let's see. So this is an attack for 9. And then I think I can just play Sunshot and kill them. Let's just do that. And Sunshot's more damage than these. So 9 you in the air. It's just not permanent. New card's looking good, allowing me to beat big board stalls, which I love. All right, we're gonna bring in the Dusk Rose Reliquary and Riding Volley for Amalia, maybe. We don't even have to pay the ward, which is nice. And I think they have enough things where Forge Devil can hit that maybe it's worth it too. Imidane's feels weak. I'm telling you, I don't think we would have won that game with an old version of Boros. It looked quite good there. Picking up Convoke ASAP. That's all it took? That's all it took? Alright, so we need to get out 3 more cards. I think this is... They're not going to hit us with much removal, so I think Knight Errant can come out. I'm also not 100% the Forge Devil is good, so let's trim it. Tandy, you still think Convoke is worse than Mono Green? I don't know where you got that from. I think that they're 2 of the better decks in the format. And they're what I've been playing a bunch of. Well, I've been playing a bunch of Boros Convoke. But I think that Boros Convoke and Green and both forms of Rakdos are likely the better decks in the format. Oh, well, I thought that you asked me which one, if you could only buy one, which one had more longevity. And I think that Mono Green still has more longevity, even now. You're asking the wrong questions. You are constrained by your money. And I try not to make content that cares about the money. Keep another weak 1-lander, but if I draw a second land, it's going to be Gucci. And even if I don't draw it, I have the ability to scry again and pump the Warden like we did last game. Alright, let's go for Thraben. We can do some really cool stuff in the next 2 turns. I really like this line. The turn 2 make a guy scry pump is great. He is pretty good. I like having the running ball here in case I do get Amalia down. But Amalia needs to attack usually to combo, so... Alright, they found a Cenote Scout. Let's see if they bench it. They do. Elf. I think we'll probably attack the elf with our removal. Nice, we drew the land. So now we can go Demo the Clue, Venerated. I see, we can go Forge Devil. This is a great turn. Enabled heavily by Warden of the Inner Sky's ability to scry on 2 with ease. The more I play with Warden, the more I think it's excellent. And I already thought it was good. Now I think it's extremely good. Alright, so now we just ignore them again and we go in the sky like we've been doing. Because the Extraction Specialist. I guess everything that has 2 power can swing. I'm fine trading off like most things. So we'll go this tapped. Resolute first, so we can get the extra counters on the Warden. Dusk Rose. I have the running volley, but I think I am fine just keeping removal at this point. Alright, so this has flying and Vigi, so let's just swing with everybody. Nothing is eating, everything is trading, so this is a fine attack. Yeah, we're going to simplify the board a bit. We're going to take away most of their pieces, and now their chords are weaker. They're lowish on life. We can just go completely in the air with Warden if we want, but I don't want to go all in on the Warden. There's an Amalia. Alright, I'm going to start with a Dusk Rose. Let's see, let's start with a pump this. 1-1-1. Bottom the Venerated. We'll go Dusk Rose Reliquary, sacking a soldier. We're going to target the Amalia, and that way we can hold up Running Volley later at instant speed. I would love to pay the 3 life, please. Did I have lethal here? 9, 10, 11? Oh, I did. I messed up. I could have gone... whatever. Miss lethal, but they had 2 mana open. Whatever. Well, no. Do you think Warden has potential in the one drop slot of humans? I think it's way better when you're generating extra pieces. I will keep this, and I have the ability to get the Warden going on turn 2. I think I don't need Immodanes. In fact, the more I play with this build, the more I think that Immodanes is unnecessary because of Warden and the one drop. Okay, well now we're gonna have our thing hit with a Fatal Push or whatever, and it's gonna look a lot worse, but you get it. More interaction incoming, etc., 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 etc. Playing a Stick Shack? I bet it makes a damn good pepperoni pizza. Ooh, no Fatal Push. Interesting. Okay, so no stomps. Are we going to go ahead and just main phase stuff? Because the Warden needs it to be main phase. If they kill it in response to the Resolute reinforcements, that's fine. Not really much we can do. Braid's fine. Next turn we can go Resolute plus Knight Errant, unless they thought seize us. More people playing a Braid lately. Okay, we'll go Resolute. Get Knight Errant down. We can't really attack with anything, so we'll just pay the Convoke full. I will take another Resolute and another and a Venerated. The Ornithopter here, not so great. Alright, here you go. This is a type of a matchup where I'm missing Giant Killer because we just like don't have answers to Shield Dread. And Shield Dread can be quite nasty. I think I'm gonna work on this deck a bunch. I feel like the Warden draws are great, and was it Sunshot Militia seems good too, but they both seem better with Burning Tree. So I might just look into some builds that do that. All right, we are not gonna. So if we Immodane this turn, what happens? Let's just count it out. All right, so Immodane this turn, it's a 3. All these are 2s. If they chump here, trade here, they're taking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. All right, so whatever happens, it's like not that big a deal. I don't really even need to play this Resolute Reinforcements because we're not attacking with much. I think we're just attacking with... I'm going to pump the Ornithopter so we can attack with the Flyer. We can attack for 4. And the next turn we can Immodanes. Although maybe attacking for 4 here is bad. Because it allows them to trade Graveyard Trespasser for Knight. Arcer, just another blocker here. Same with Reflection. Reflection later could be great, but here, I'm assuming they're just like going to kill this and block 3 or 4 things, but now that I have the Immodanes, it's going to make their blocks significantly worse. All right, let's go ahead and play Den, just so we can get F6 value. The next turn, if we draw land, we can Chef Dunes and keep the pressure coming. Worst case scenario, we can pop Clue, draw a card. We're going to swing with everybody, let them figure it out. But basically, the Trespasser is going to get to eat one thing, and then everything else trades. And they're going to do a lot of trading and take a lot of damage no matter what happens. All right, Lou Beeps, I take it back. Play this deck on Sunday. Burn your 40 QPs. It's good. Deck's good. All right, so now they're gonna block a bunch of 3/2s, but I don't think they're taking lethal, but they are just eating shit here on this turn for sure. All right, so if they don't have removal spell, this is 16, 18, 22. So if they don't have removal spell, they're dead. But if they kill one of the 5 drops, they take 11, 12, 13, 17 down to 4. Okay. And 13, 15, 17, 19. So they're going to... Wow, okay. So 2 Fatal Push, that's not the worst thing in the world. Not the worst thing in the world. They're at 5. Just shake that ass, bitches. Let me see what you got. Yo, Cam, thank you so much for the tier 2 sub for 59 months. That'll be 5 years next month, man. I really appreciate you, Cam. Thank you. Kroxa from the grave. Not enough. Ooh, maybe enough. They did weather the storm quite well. They'll have 2 blockers. One will trade, one will eat. They'll take 1, 2, 3. Land kills them. If all they do is Kroxa, land kills them. A couple things off the top kill them. Tapped land doesn't, I guess. Oh, damn. What kind of sauce on that shrimp and broccoli? Is it that Mugu Gaipan sauce? The, like, creamy white sauce? I think they call that lobster sauce. Lethal demo. Not quite what I was wanting, but here we are. If we attack with everybody, I don't think we can die. We can take 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have to block here. And then we just go demo the clue. I guess I can also demo Ornithopter. Sway base usual. Alright, so they gotta go chump and eat. They take 3 down to 2. I'm gonna play Gleeful Demolition. And then hope they don't have a main deck sweeper of some kind. I could draw a card and then use it on the Ornithopter, or maybe on something that I find off the top, but I think that keeping the Ornithopter gives me the most pressure. We're bringing the Weddings. I don't hate Rydane because they often have some 4-cost sweepers after sideboard, and it dodges the 3-cost sweepers. Talia is great. Immodane's is usually, whenever my opponent is being heavily interactive, Immodane is usually what's coming out. Maybe we can trim the Sure Shot as well, or Sunshot, excuse me. But I like all the enablers. I really like Warden in general, but maybe trimming Warden is okay because it does put me vulnerable to Fatal Push, you know? My deck is relatively insulated from Fatal Push, but if all they're doing is Fatal Pushing my Warden of the Inner Sky that I spent 1 mana on. Game number 2 against Rakdos Midrange. Up a game. This opener is quite good. We have the old turn 2 Knight Errant into turn 3 Wedding Announcements. So we can sweat some sweepers. Obviously, Thoughtseize or similar is going to be pretty good against us, but maybe they don't draw it. Definitely going to keep. Emerald to 6. Let's see if they go lower. All right, they're on 5. One card I loved at the RC was Collective Defiance, I believe. No, Collective Effort. That's the one. Collective Effort in this matchup was often kill Fable, kill Sheoldred, put a counter on all my stuff. It's an oversight not being in the deck. All right, I can make 3 tokens right now. But I'd rather go for the full 5-er on the knight. So we'll be vulnerable to Thoughtseize for a turn. This hand is extremely good though, especially against a mulligan to 5. Because they have, if they do Thoughtseize, they have to choose between these two, which is awkward. Alright, well now I'm not even going to cast the demo because I'm afraid of a braid. Huh. I'm going to take a Rydane and Warden, I think. They're like decent follow-ups to a sweeper. But a sweeper at this point doesn't even take care of everything. I think running demo into an Abrade would have essentially lost us the game, and I think that the Ornithopter draw allowed me to do this, which is nice. And now next turn I can play Wedding, attack, draw card. Cast Bone Crusher Giant, okay. Alright, let's attack with the Knight and offer the trade. Maybe offering the trade ever is bad. But it does allow little things to attack through. They're like 100% to trade, which is maybe a reason to not do it. I'm going to go and get Wedding Announcement down. I don't want it to get Thoughtseized, and if they play a sweeper this turn, it's not a big deal. The sweeper would, if it did come down, you know, it's taking care of like things that don't really matter that much. How's Warden looking so far? Very good, very strong, very strong. Very much liking it. I could have attacked with an Ornithopter and drawn a card. That was probably better than making a 1/1. Yeah, I should have. All right, here's Trespasser. All right, so let's go Warden. I don't think I'm going to attack anymore. I can attack with 2 Ornithopters to draw a card. I guess that's probably fine. Maybe I just do this again. The Scry 1 feels quite good. All right, we're just going to kind of force them to play Wrath Effect here of some kind. And then we're going to go like Warden, Demo into Venerated. Yeah, Thoughtseize is fine. Rydane should shut the door on him. I can go Rydane into Venerated, which is sick. Yeah, I've been very impressed with the Warden. So on turn 1, like I kept a couple 1-landers where I'd go Warden into Epicure or Thraben on 2, and then instead of attacking, I just tap the Epicure, the token, and the Warden itself to get the +1 counter into Scry 1. And I think that that's going to be a very common line. All right, so they're going to attack and eat the Rydane. We're just going to eat it. Going down to 13. So they're going to probably braid this, would be my guess. Stomp this. That's fine too. That's like the least worrisome thing I've ever seen in my life. And we can also even suit up the Warden. And it has Vigilance, so it can protect from that as well. We'll keep the Venerate on top because it can, again, allow us to rebuild. But we are presenting a massive amount of pressure now. And it's going to require a lot of sweepers. If they start with Hidetsugu Consumes All here, It still leaves us with Venerated and Raidane. Shieldred, not that problematic because we have flying and our things are large. All right, so if we go Demo Warden, this is an attack for 9 flying, so they're at 6. I think we're just way lethal here, so let's just do it. I'm pretty confident that we're in lethal territory here. So we'll go suit you up. And then that's 10 in the air, and then they block here, and take a bunch of extra damage. Oh, I forgot this is even bigger too. So this is 12 damage unblocked. They block here, they take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra. And the whole time we were playing around a Braid early, and we played around a Sweeper late, right? As much as we could. Luckily, they didn't have the Sweeper. Opener is decent. We'll keep. The turn 2 Thalia is always great, and we can turn 1 Thraben, and it's unlikely to die. People hate playing removal spells on little things like that. We do have turn 3 rolled up, should our opponent not interact. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be playing the mirror match. This will be a nice test to see how good our new 1-drops are. I will go ahead and play Thalia. I don't know if I want to or need to play the Ornithopter, so I won't. I can wait till next turn. Oh, sorry. How long's my alarm been going off? Ah, it just went off. Alright, good. Alright, so they're going to go ahead and play Warden and pump it. Makes sense. Jay South, thanks for the follow. Alright, we'll go Convoke 3. We will take Warden for sure, so we can start doing the thing that they're doing. And I think we'll take Reinforcements to give us some more go wide. I'm going to shock. We're going to play Warden, and I'll go ahead and pump it. I don't think that they're going to do much else to like pressure us to bottom the Thalia. If they have Demolition, they can do some really powerful stuff this turn, but we are already doing the powerful thing. And now it just depends on if we can find Venerated and Immodanes. I'll likely main phase the Reinforcements and use it to convoke the Knight Errant so that we can get some serious pressure down. What's up, Slow? Long time, man. Hope you're doing well. Simon says Warden's a 1-2. That makes it interesting. It's very good. However, whatever you think, however good you think it might be, it's better than that. Alright, so they found a Knight Errant. They're going to do it again next turn, but so are we. We can be the first to start attacking. They can tap these 3 and attack with a 3-4. They're probably going to... I would guess they would be defensive with this and hold back all my little guys, but maybe they attack. Alright, Chef at Dunes is going to be super nice for next turn. Let's go player land. We'll Reinforcements. Because I want to maybe be able to attack this turn. Alright, so we found an Immodanes, which we desperately needed, and we'll have that next turn. And then we can play a Resolute this turn. So next turn we should be good. I gotta be a little careful about how I challenge them this turn, though. Like, let's see. I think I might just die to Immodanes. Let's see, if I pump this with these 3, attack I guess I'm not even attacking with it, so pumping it doesn't seem that great. But I can just hold back 2 Knight Errants to block, but I can also hold back everything to block that I currently have. I feel like I might miss damage next turn, though, if I don't pump this. So the clue token is the last thing. I just want to kind of look how, see how it looks. All right, so if they play Imodane from hand next turn, let's say they go land 1-drop Ornithopter Imodane. That's like worst case scenario. They have Knight Errant. We have 2 blockers. We can, let's see, we can block here. We can block the Imodanes, and we're taking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Maybe 16. With only 2 blockers. Okay, so I guess we don't. I kind of want to attack for 4. I don't think that they'll block, and I think having 4 blockers is good. And I think that this is a good compromise. Deal 4 damage or put a counter on Warden. I think deal 4 damage is better. If I can't find lethal next turn with Imodanes, I'll just use train troops, probably. Just to keep building my board. And then maybe we'll just put 2 counters on Warden and start attacking for 4 flying. They're likely going to do the same thing. What's up, P-Mello? How's it going, buddy? For you, it's been a long time. For me, it's just another Thursday. I'm just kidding. It's good to see you. Glad to have you here. Start a new job on Monday. What you doing, Slow Future? You're going to be saving the world, I hope. Yeah, Warden's great, Oaf. I don't know if you've gotten to play with it yet, but the card seems like it fits the deck perfectly. And just does a lot of great stuff. All right, so they did have the Legion's Landing. Or sorry, they did have the Ornithopter, but they don't have Reckless yet. They have Giant Killer, which they can't play this turn to kill a big thing. It's really scary playing this matchup because if you tap too many things to be aggressive, they just can kill you on the crackback. You just have to be very careful. Usually it's like the first person who goes for it usually ends up dying. Oh yeah, man. That sounds great. One of our new sponsors, chat, Moxfield. It's a great deck building website used for sharing decks. Highly recommend it. All right, so they have 4 blockers only. One's got lifelink. We don't. Oh, we do have a legend to play, so we actually can use the Aganjo as well. I think this is a lethal attack. They have 4 blockers. They gain 1 up to 12. I'm just gonna do it. I don't think we can die. I can also make sure they don't gain life. I guess they get. Let's see. We know they have Giant Killer, but they didn't play it. And they're going to be doing a lot of chumping and trading. I think in general, this is just a fine attack. Well, Slow Future, 1 move at a time, right? They don't have a legend to play either, so I don't need to worry about their Ganjo. Oh, that's a bad one for me. I didn't know about that one. We might die now. They got plenty of blockers. They have to block the big things, though, so, like, all their big things are going to die. Most of their things are going to die in general. None of my stuff has trample, unfortunately. Alright, so this is going to block. We'll do some math after they do their blocks. And then if killing the lifelinker does lethal, that's great. And if it doesn't, we'll figure it out after. I think we're 1 short. I think killing the vampire leaves us 1 short. If they block the Imodane. They might block the Imodane thinking that they're going to go to 12 and take exactly 11. Like they could block here instead, or here. We're dead to like an Imidane's next turn if they have it. We know that they have Giant Killer in hand, though, I think, as their last card. I think we're going to be safe on the crackback, even if we can't find lethal this turn. But it'll be interesting to see how they block, and we'll figure out if we can punch through by ganjoing the lifelink token. If not, we'll just kill this Warden. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is an 11-point hit. And so if I kill this lifelinker, they die. We'll see if that's what they want to do. Yeah, they're going to block this Imidane. They're probably watching the stream, you know? Maybe not, but they're probably watching the stream. That's probably a bad thing to say. They might not be. All right, so let's just double check. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now it's definitely not lethal. So we'll just go a Ganjo on the Warden. All their shit dies. They're left with 4 power, 6 power, excuse me. Not quite enough for them to attack back for lethal without some help. All right, your go. Yeah, King. Gotta be careful. We'll use Chef at Doom next turn to lock it up if they don't kill us here. But it takes Imidanes to kill us or Reckless Bushwhacker, whichever one they're playing. They do have a Giant Killer in hand that they can use to just play a 1-2 blocker. This doesn't output extra damage because it requires a lot of tapping to get going. So we're just looking at 6 right now. 7, I guess, technically, if they play Giant Killer, they can tap Ornithopter, Blood Token, Giant Killer to get 1 extra in. Them having the extra Resolute reinforcements there to block was rough. They did some trading last turn instead of some chump blocking. I think they maybe put themselves in a spot where they can't use chop down. Maybe them keeping a 4/4 round and then having chop down would have been better. Because if they, instead of trading the 4/4, right, they could just put the 4/4s on the little guys. And have the little guys chump block the big guys instead of the little guys trade for little guys. And then the big guys eat instead of trading. So I guess we probably could have lost if they had played or blocked differently. Three whites. I wonder if they messed up and they have another Giant Killer. No, we don't have anything to chop down anyway. I don't know what's happening. I guess they're convoking. But that leaves them with maybe not enough blockers. We'll see. Maybe we're not in business here. Let's see. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 blockers. We only have 6 attackers, so nothing's getting through because Ornithopter. Oh, they left Ornithopter down. We might end up losing to just Warden of the Inner Sky. Inner Sky, is that like center of the earth up in the air? Flying around in a sphere. How's that even work? How do birds even fly down there? I don't know. Thought they needed air currents. Maybe there are air currents down there. I don't know. What's up, SSA? Think you're going with Keenan to Atlanta. Great overall for an open deckless tourney. Any thoughts? Okay, so Keenan, are you talking about just playing the I don't know, the 4-color Rona deck or whatever it is with the Traxa and Luca? Ah, Keenan, Rona. Rona. I don't think Rona is the one. Rahona is the one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know, Boris Boss. I guess bats fly around in caves, so maybe birds can fly around in the inner sky. Okay, opponent. All right, so they're tapping the Warden, so this is going to leave them with 5 blockers to my 6 attackers, so that's going to leave Ornithopter getting in. All right, Vantage sucks. So if I Chef at Dunes and swing, block here, they just have enough to chump. Let's see, I don't know if they can attack back for lethal, but maybe they can. Let's figure it out. So, Venerate Luxon probably blocks Thalia. Chump here, chump here, chump here, take 1, chump here. So they lose. They have to block with the Warden, and the Warden doesn't get bigger. They attack back for 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 4 is 9. This will flip to 10. Or it's not 10, but it'll flip. But if I crack Chef at Dunes and swing with everybody, I'm losing Thalia only, and they are losing 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers, and Ornithopter gets in for 1. I think that's the move. I think that they're forced to block this. I guess they can block this on a 2-2, so this is not dying. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. So I am dead if I attack with everything. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's draw a card. Probably gonna die anyway. I'll buy Gigantha. I don't think I can win anymore, but we'll see. Maybe I'll have a good... Maybe they'll mess up and do a big attack and die. But Warden of the Inner Sky is going to chew me up now, I think. Only lost because you don't draw a payoff? Well, that's the problem with playing like 6 combos in your deck. Alright, so now we drew Venerated Luxodon, which, in conjunction with our other things, could potentially get us out of this. Start with Gigantha. And now we have to be careful because they can tap and then untap and tap 2 things. So if I Convoke for 5, play this, they're going to tap both my big things. I have 1 blocker to block here, and then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I think I Convoke with 4. Maybe I leave the Ornithopter open. I'll leave the Ornithopter back to chump block the Warden. Alright, here we go. So we could die here, but we have not left ourselves dead on board, which is the big thing. We got to play our things. Put them in under some pressure. Alright, so they tap the Ornithopter. I wonder if this means that they're going to just attack for 4 and pass back. Alright, so I don't think that this is lethal, but it will have Flying and Vigilance now, so it'll attack for 4 unfettered. Ooh, maybe we're getting thudded. This is a very aggressive double tap. I'm very unsure what's happening. Whoa. Okay. Didn't see that one coming. Unfortunate. Lost to the big swinger on the board stall. Forge Devil coming in. I think Wedding Announcement is not that bad. All about board presence. These five are in. Thalia can come out for sure. I'll keep the Imidanes because they allow us to turn the corner, but maybe I'd cut one. The big Convoke things are the more important. Sunshot's probably okay because of the board stalls. Warden obviously is the nicest one of the bunch. Yeah, well, we'll just trim the Sunshot. We'll just lean on Warden doing his thing. I think tapping too many creatures to deal one could leave us in a bad spot. But Forge Devil's nice. Allows us to interact slightly early on. And I don't know. It's not the best in the world, but it's a body that knocks them down one. I don't like running volleys in this matchup. Some people board those in for the big 4/4s. I'm not a huge fan. My approach to the mirror match might be flawed though. I often feel lost in the mirror and lose to big top decks like that. But Embercleave is not one I was expecting. But I think I was still losing to Imidanes at most points there. But I think it's important to try to set yourself up for a win if you can. I think really I should have just not attacked the turn that I attacked. They had a chance to die, but they had a clear block where they didn't die. Oh, but they had the surprise Resolute that I didn't know about. Okay. I think my attack was fine. They had a chance to mess up. I'm going to keep this one. We'll just turn one demo the Ornithopter, I suppose. We're definitely going to be looking for a way to buff our squad. The mirror match is kind of wonky. Just like jockeying for position for 8 turns until you find a semi-lethal attack. I'm hoping they play as slow this game as they did last game, though, because if we win it, that means that they're likely to time out. But it is what it is. If they play Thraben, I think I'll attack. I think I'll attack no matter what. Yeah, definitely going to attack into that. If we draw something to tap the tokens instead, I'd rather do that. But all right, we'll swing with 3. My guess is they won't block, but if they do block, the Forge Devil Thraben Inspector turn is quite good. Yes, take 40 seconds to block. I love it. Take 40 seconds to block. It's the best. All right, we're going to play Resolute Reinforcements now. Wonder how many Embercleaves are in their deck. I wonder if I should figure out a way to get Burning Tree Emissary into the deck. All right, so they're going to go ahead and tap all 3, so we'll just go into turn Resolute, untap Forge Devil Thraben, maybe another 1-drop. We'll kill one of the 1/1s. All right, so they're going to scry 1. We'll wait for the scry 1 to resolve before we make or before we play our thing. I don't want them to have perfect info. I put one on bottom. And Epicure, so we get to do everything. Take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. I'll attack them for 5 down to 11. And now they're going to be really stressed to activate Warden. My plan here, if they don't play a bunch of tokens, is to simply attack with a bunch of 1/1s. And if we're able to draw 2 more lands in a row, we can activate Chef at Dunes on the final turn to punch through lethal, hopefully. Unfortunately, we didn't draw payoff, but that's okay. We were able to use all of our mana on turns 1, 2, and 3. I mean, this is turn 3, and we've killed a creature, and we have made 8 attackers. And we've already hit them down to 11. I think this is a reasonable start, even without the big Convoke payoff. Here's Giant Killer. Now, if they just Convoke a 5-drop, that's great. All right, so now they have 2 blockers. They probably also have Resolute, so we have to take that into account. We're going to pop Clue, maybe even Blood Token here. We'll see what we draw. So if they do have Resolute, they have 3 trades and 2 eats. So we are only getting in 3 damage. So I think we'll just lean on Chef at Dunes in a few turns, hopefully. Immodanes. Okay, so now Immodanes is all... It's not good enough, right? Okay, if I play Immodanes, we'll attack with everybody. They have 2 1/1s, 3 1/1s to eat these. Let's say trade these 3. This 2/3 is going to eat a 2/2, so like Thraben. This is going to trade. So they have 4 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 eats, and then they're taking 7-ish. But the Warden's the only thing left over after that, and there are only 2 cards in hand. And we still have the Chef F for later. Let's do that. Let's do a big trade. So they only get to eat 1 now with the Immodane instead of eating 2. I think that makes it better. Oh, they just have nothing. Even better. Even better. They have nothing. Okay, do we want to get the Running Volleys in? How good is Wedding? Maybe the Wedding is bad. I thought that the Anthem effect on the backside would be good, but I doubt that they have a bunch of removal spells. But I want to get Running Volley into my deck, so maybe they already have Running Volley in their deck. The one thing about Forge Devil I'm not sold on is the fact that it only kills Resolute, Gleeful, and Epicure. So we'll just bring in a couple Running Volleys. We'll cut the Forge Devils on the draw. It was good that game, but... I don't understand why people play so slow. Like, yes, you have a 30-minute clock, but like... Your time in real life is finite, man. You know? All right. They got 9 minutes. We'll see if they can use all of it. How very poetic, yeah. Is writing bad in the mirror? The shield side can turn the combat math around. I didn't even think about that, to be honest, but maybe. I don't really want to do it, though. But I don't think... If you told me you're doing that, and you're winning doing it, I would say, cool. Also, is the backside an artifact? Yeah, it dies to demolition. So it's not even like a hard out. It's a 4-cost thing that dies to demo. Obviously, demo is really important for enabling the Convokers, but If the games go long because you're stalling them out, they do have an answer for one. I wasn't sure if the backside was an enchantment. All right, we'll go for Epicure. Part of me wanted to demo their clue, but we're just going to demo plus Venerated next turn and hope that they don't have the same draw. Also, how's it going, Mito? Also, Interrupter, I saw you, I think it was in either Spike or Doomwake chat the other day. Oh no! We got owned. We got owned. We got absolutely dunked on. Sego, we'll make a Resolute. We can't Venerate it this turn, so we might as well Resolute this turn. Maybe trade, see what they do. If they play Imodane, I'll definitely go for trades because I'll just be too far behind otherwise. All right, so we're doing similar things, but my board's going to be bigger, which is nice. And I doubt I'm going to die, but you never know. All right, we'll go ahead and Convoke for 5. Next turn we can get Wedding down. If it's a big board stall, Wedding on the backside should be great. And we just got to hope that we dodge Embercleave, basically. Warden, that one's kind of scary. Maybe we have to get aggressive. We do have a decent amount of pressure on them. These two will be good blockers, though. Chef at Dunes for next turn. Okay. All right, I'm going to attack with just Venerated. I'm fine trading because then my little guys can attack. Oh, that sucks. I didn't even see that block. That makes sense. That's fine. I'm simplifying a bit. Keeping their food low. I'm going to kill their 2-3. Maybe we'll wait on the Chefette until the Wedding flips all the way. They can tap 2 of these and 1 of these to grow the Warden, but I don't think they can really attack this turn. I guess if they have Demo, they can definitely do something. Den of the Bugbear, that's fine. I'm very glad that that's a card that they played this turn instead of having a combo. All right, so my guess is no tax. We can do the same thing to them, a 2-3 and a 2-2 double blocking, or just 2-2s blocking like crazy. Let's pop the clue. All right, let's convoke this with our littlest things. All right, now this should put us significantly far ahead. We can Venerate it as well, and Resolute. And then the Chef at next turn should be good. We only have 1 blocker this turn, but at 16, I think we're fine. The fact that Clue doesn't have to be tapped to activate is frustrating. All right, I guess maybe I should play Chef at Dunes and hold up another blocker, just in case. It does telegraph, but I think that we're just in good, like we're just in business here. It's like very difficult for them to win. They can attack us for 4 flying, but it requires tapping blood and some other stuff. They did draw cards, so now they have 3 cards in hand to maybe do some comboing with. Nice, Nick. Combo decks are generally pretty good against mono green, though. Mono green doesn't have a lot in the way of disruption. They're consistent, and they're pretty fast, but they're not like broken combo fast. Same with Rona. I would wait to see how you do against Rakdos and Phoenix. Those are generally the litmus test. It's can I beat Rakdos / Phoenix, or can I beat mono green, or both? And if you can beat both, your deck is likely S tier. And if you cannot beat either, your deck is dumpster tier. And if you beat one of the two, you're just in the middle of the pack like everybody else. No giant killers. Not in this build blend really. We're trying out Warden of the Inner Sky in our deck, and it's been very strong. And I have not missed giant killer at all. All right, we're 3-0. Should I start with Epicure? That way I can go Warden next turn. No, I need Warden in case I draw the land. I can play Resolute. It's okay, Manny. GG's. I like your Embercleave tech in the main deck. We were talking a little bit about it. I was giving you some shit, but I think your blocks in game 1 were quite good. You played around my Ganjo. My Ganjo killing your lifelinker would have ended you on the spot. All right, so we're playing against Phoenix, but they don't start off with removal. That's very good news for us. And now we're just hoping that they... Ooh, should we just play Thalia here, I think? We'll just tax them instead of putting a counter on the Warden. I think the Thalia is just too good. Makes it so it's very hard for them to interact. If they play Ledger Shredder, we can just go, like, you know, reinforcements, put a counter on this or whatever. Tapped? Okay, they're dead, I think. Land would be great. Tops of land, we'll keep. Thalia has been an incredible addition to the main deck. And now that we have Warden, the Thalias just cover an extra base that we could not really handle before. All right, we'll just play the Imidanes, just smash them. They're not going to do anything. They're probably going to play like a 3-mana removal spell on our Thalia, or 2-mana removal spell on our Thalia. And that's like their whole turn. Do we miss Giant Slayers? I haven't so far, but I haven't played a ton. I already beat Rakdos once. I was never a big fan of Giant Killer personally. Yeah, the main deck Thalias are from System Magic, a streamer duo, one of which is Andrew Ellenbogen, who's a Pro Tour champion. They talked a bunch about the deck in their Discord, and Ellenbogen was like, let's try out Thalia's main deck because we built it in such a way where we have no vulnerabilities or whatever. All right, so we'll go Resolute Reinforcements main phase, and we're going to use it to pump this. We'll use it to pump this one. We'll just bottom the Epicure. I don't have to be afraid of a sweeper here, I don't think. So we'll just kind of shove in. And we didn't have to play that one because I'm not going to pump again. They have to have 2 removal spells here to not be dead. And they go to 1. Unless they're a deck that I don't think that they are. I guess they could just be... So they're not Phoenix. So they have Chump plus removal if they're creativity. Nice. Okay, so they're not Phoenix. That's goodish news. Because now we have a better idea of what we're fighting. Right ain't solid. Thalia is insane. It has to just be creativity, right? Sleight of hand creativity. Does that make sense? It's just... They could have a bunch of interaction. Sunshot's unnecessary. This is about breaking board stalls, and this is not a matchup where they board stall you at all. Thalia, Right In are both awesome. I don't think Running Volley is worth. You love 2 Guardian of Faith? That's the one that blinks everybody, right? Phases them out or whatever. I think I just bench a Venerated. I guess I just have to end the game quickly, so having all of our big payoffs is nice. Maybe I bench a Warden, actually. Warden's Strength and Sunshot Militia Strength are breaking board stalls. And putting pressure early... I'm going to trim 1, but it's theory more than anything. If we're even playing against creativity. Oh, yeah, I guess I could trim a Resolute. It's a little slow. We'll keep this one. We'll put back one of the demos just because we only have the one target right now. All right, so they turn one tap land. That's good news for us because now it means our Ornithopter is safe. They'll probably hit us with Anger of the Gods or some such on 3, whether it's Brotherhood's End or whatever. So we'll just use these to pressure. Hopefully we'll get Thali online. We'll probably play Ride the turn after. They sweep us. Alright, this isn't the best mulligan in the world, but what are you going to do? Turn 1, make 3 1/1s. Breaks a lot of their spot removal. Makes their counter spells kind of weak. Alright, Volcanic Spite, one of them. Do they not have to show me what they put on bottom? Nope. Alright, we're just going to Convoke this out because it dodges the sweeper, and we're not in trouble yet. Flip the switch. No! Alright, I'm in trouble now. It's not one I play against too much, but whenever they play it, I always feel extremely vulnerable. Because now they can just Creativity for 1, if that's what their deck is interested in. Alright, let's play this Rydane. Maybe I should have played it last turn, but it would have got flipped. This is going to tax their creativity a little bit. Decayed means I can't attack, right? Yeah, or I can't block. Ah, 2/2 Shark. Dang. I was expecting the other thing, but maybe I shouldn't have attacked. I wish I had a 1-mana card in my sideboard that could kill Shark and Goblin and Decayed token. Alright, Fire Impulse on Rydane is embarrassing. Makes me want to quit Magic. Alright, we'll play Knight Errant. We're only getting 1s if it resolves, but 1s and 0s, I guess, technically. Spikefield the token, that's fine. It still works. Top 6, we get 1 Ornithopter. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We could have played Recruiter. It wouldn't have done much. Now at least we have a 4/4 to start pressuring. We can play Ornithopter and another Knight Errant next turn. And attack for 4, maybe. This now Creativity for 1. Okay, so is it Atraxa? Okay, you win. Atraxa is like impossible for me to beat. Maybe we have Dusk Rose to kill it afterwards, but that just feels so awkward. Alright, let's just be hyper aggressive. The Rydanes are good. I think Knight Errant ain't it. I'm just going to try to explode. I think the Rydanes can still be good with a good draw. We'll mulligan up to 5, looking for a busted hand. This is a great hand we'll keep. If they... We'll go turn 1 Epicure. That way we can go turn 2 Warden. Right? Warden Demo. This is a very explosive draw, especially if their land on 1 is tapped. If they go Sleight of Hand or tapped land, I think I win easily. Alright, if they kill one of these, Great. If they killed one of these, I would just pump the Warden, but now I'm just going to play a Knight Errant. Yeah, they should always kill the thing before Convoke can happen. Alright, we just hit a Rydane, but if we draw a land, that's fine. We did fucking put 5 lands on bottom. Bummer. But we have a ton of pressure. They're going to need a sweeper effect of some kind pretty soon. Another mountain, interesting. Most of the sweepers, oh my god. Most of the sweepers that can hit the little things don't hit Knight Errant as well, so. Alright, so they're just going to look for the turn 3 or turn 4 creativity. We have to find a land next turn for Rydane if we want to brick it off. If they just go for a naked Atraxa, we just don't really have a way to punch through it. We only have the one of Ganja. Well, that was a good draw. Let's attack for this many. Let's see what they do. I don't want to give them a target for the counter unless you pay. So now playing this post-combat should brick them. If they're doing this now, that means they don't have creativity. They're likely going to try to block. Take 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we're going to play the Thalia. This is going to tax them next turn pretty hard. If they have a 3-cost sweeper, it only kills Thalia and the 1/1s, and we still can attack for 8. Impulse there, sure. Okay, so now they have to... I mean, they're not out of it. Alright, we're going for the 5-0 chat. So lead off with Thraben into Resolute, and then on 3 we can Knight Errant. Pretty great start, and we're somewhat insulated from Thoughtseize because of 2 Knight Errants, but... Alright, Potato, I will. Did you hear the Ric Flair? Woo! Woo! You gotta get Guttural. Dust Rose been good? I played it one time yesterday and it was fine. Sacking a blood or whatever was not a big deal in the matchups where I want it, which is like mono green or whatever. Wow. But that's what you can do with your gnomes. You can make me do things. You can do soundboards. I have things that are like muted for one game. All right, Thraben. All right, if they take Resolute, we'll probably end up popping the clue token. Turtle says, you think Gobakon is a cyborg consideration, having gone back to look at Ellenbogen's discussion of the deck yet? I think Gobakon is specifically terrible in Convoke, and I will tell you why after I attack. All right, so long story short, Invasion of Gobakon lets you take a thing from them, right? That's fine. That's a good effect. But you really need to be able to attack it. If you attack it in this deck, you're usually attacking it with like 1/1s, which means that like you're not really doing that much damage to it. Like most of the time, Invasion's being attacked 1 time to flip out of like mono white or whatever. But for us, it requires at least 2 attackers usually, and sometimes 3. And that also means if we're attacking, we're not convoking. And not convoking means that we're probably losing. All right, we'll play Warden, Ornithopter, and we'll grow it. Take the land. Next turn, we can go Warden, Convoke a Knight, and still play 1 or 2 cards. But I have never been a fan of Gobakon in the sideboard of Convoke, and I think that it's actively bad. So I would much rather play Thalia Guardian, which I've had in my sideboard a bunch. All right, push on the Warden's fine. I wonder if they just go Blood Tithe Harvester to kill something as well. Proxa. I kind of want to discard Imodane. Next turn, I'm just going to play a Knight Errant. I don't know if I should hold up red mana or white mana, though. That's the big problem. Oh, I guess I can't anymore anyway. Okie dokie. Back for one. NT says, whenever you attack, you may discard a card. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on this. Or target attacking creature against trample until end of turn. And when you discard one or more cards, exile top card of your library, you may play the card until your next end step. So it works with blood tokens. Okay. I will play Knight Errant. We'll take Thraben and Thalia. Go ahead and play the Thraben. We have to be a little afraid of the Kroxa next turn, but I don't think it'll be able to attack much. Surprised I didn't blood end of turn. Looking for the land for Kroxa. Span is called Le Tigre. Okay, so this is a weird version of Rectus. Interesting. I'm going to double block. I should have tapped Chef at Dunes. I think I'm going to leave open red. Man, tough. Here we go. That's a weird track, but it's not that bad. I'll skip it. Tapped land number 4, so Kroxa not coming this turn is great. They conceded. They conceded, chat. Wedding announcement in. Their build is weird. I don't know what to do, really. I'll just bring in some weddings. This is a matchup where I think Immodanes can come out. I kind of want to Rydane them because I think they're going to board in 4-cost sweepers. Sunshot's good when the board's going to get gummed up, but they're great at playing sweepers and stuff, so I'll cut it. One game from the dream? Oh, yeah. This hand's great. I can start off with Epicure. They're unlikely to kill it. They mulligan to 5. Chat, are we doing it? Are we doing it? Paid actor. I don't know. Our opponent's deck looks kind of cool. Oh, they're vampires. They're not even... Okay, I see. All right, let's play Warden to start. And then if they kill it, next turn we can go Warden plus Epicure. This is mostly to prevent the damage from here. This is Hieroglyphics. The song's called The Who. Do we discard the land? Probably. Yeah. The Rydane might be okay, but... Alright, get the Epicure down. Warden number 2. And we'll go ahead and pump and attack. We'll top on the Resolute. It's a pretty good one. Next turn we can do Resolute and then Venerated Luxon for all of it. Wow. Tough. Tough. At least our thing survived. Okay, so I can not get the Venerated down this turn, so let's play the Rydane. Four cards, or only one card in hand because they are mulled to 5. We have to just soak the hit if they attack with it, and they don't even. Okay, so I don't know why they're doing this. Oh, because it's a 2/3. Okay, so we'll bounce off of it. Tramples, but all right, so we can attack for 2, and then we can play Resolute plus Venerated. And it should be very difficult for them to win after that, since they have no cards in. Oh, I didn't even see this. Here we go. Oh, they just gave up. Chat, that is a 5-0. That's a 5-0, chat. All right, so we have 5-0'd our league. The deck performed very well, and I would love to just talk about Warden of the Inner Sky for another minute or two. So this one costs 1/2. It doesn't look flashy, but it has a lot of text on it. And a lot of times in the last couple years, when something has been cheap with a lot of text on it, it ends up being much weaker than it looks on paper. But I think Warden of the Inner Sky is secretly excellent where it looks okay, right? It's only a 1/2 for 1. I don't want to put this into every aggro deck, but when you're playing a deck that plays both Thraben Inspector and Voldaren Epicure, Warden of the Inner Sky gets turned on turn 2 with relative ease. And the one thing that I didn't realize when I first started playing with the card was that it can tap itself. And you can play it on 1, miss a land drop on 2, play a Thraben, play a Voldaren Epicure, use those to trigger the Warden, and scry 1 digging for the missing land, or, just play out more creatures, however you want to do it. Gleeful Demolition has been another way to fuel the Warden, which I really like, and I just think that Warden in general has just made the deck significantly stronger, and it's hard to explain why other than just showing. And early in the league, we turned into a 4/5 multiple times and was able to attack Flying Vigilance. Other times later in the league, right, we just had it be a 2/3 or a 3/4 that allowed us to scry once or twice and find our missing lands. It was just always what we wanted to play early on. My one concern is having too many colored 1-drops that are split between red and white. And we did have one spot in the league where we drew too many white cards and not enough white sources, or vice versa. And so maybe that means Needleverge Pathway needs to go back to being Mana Confluence in some number. Maybe even 1 Mana Confluence over Needleverge, or 2 over 2 Needleverge. Someone mentioned earlier that maybe Iganjo can be cut, and maybe Iganjo and Needleverge become 2 Mana Confluence to alleviate some of those issues. The deck in general performed very well. Obviously, when you 5-0, it's hard to find flaws in your cards. Forge Devil was better than expected, but we didn't play against mono green. I like the package of Duskrose Reliquary and Forge Devil against the mono green matchup. There, we can usually cut some of our things that are more for like battlefield gum ups, right? We're just trying to ignore them and kill them as fast as possible. They're not killing our stuff. So cards like Knight Errant of Eos are much weaker in that matchup because we just don't need the longevity. Warden of the Inner Sky, also being a big flying attacker, is really strong in some matchups, but against Mono Green Devotion, they obviously have Cavalier of Thorns, Flip Polukranos, and so we need something that can just get rid of those creatures, and we need it to be cheap. Get Lost, I think, is a fine option, but it doesn't exile, so you're going to have trouble against things like the Cavalier of Thorns trigger or the Old Growth Troll trigger. Duskrose Reliquary is a permanent, so it is vulnerable to Boseiju, but it does have Ward, so it is protected to an extent from anything that could destroy it. And I think that that's something that's really important to think about. I don't really have much else to say about the deck. It performed well. Most of the cards did what I wanted them to do. Whenever we 5-0 with a deck with a new card in it and a focal point on the new card, it's always very exciting, and I look forward to working more on Boros Convoke. But for now, we're going to retire it. This is the Boros Convoke featuring Warden of the Inner Sky. Nice little 5-0 trophy. Thanks for watching. I'm Tandy, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out.